Yo, what it do? It's your boy 305 Kane in the building.
And it's your boy DJ Reloaded.
Today's topic is going to be a little bit about signs of a failing relationship. Okay, signs of a failing relationship. But before we get into that topic, DJ Reloaded has something he want to touch on. Go ahead, DJ Reloaded.
I just want to touch on the shooting that happened today in the mall, out here in Aurora.
Where?
In Aurora, and where I live at out here in Colorado. The gun violence needs to stop. There's many different ways that people can handle situations or disputes or disagreements, arguments or beef. Back in my days, we threw hands.
Facts.
I think that as a culture, as a people, we need to go back to them days. You take an L, you live to fight another day. The gun violence, the killing each other, the making people feel uncomfortable going to the mall and shopping with their kids and having a good time. We got to stop the senseless violence.
So let me give me a little bit of insight on what happened.
I'm not really sure what happened. I know I reached out to a great friend of mine who has a store out there, A1 Boxing. Shout out Glenn, and he was giving me some details about it. But like I said again, it don't matter. But the details, just it matters that we need to put the guns down and go back to that old school style of throwing hands.
Too many people scared of that though.
Hey, I agree, but it don't make you a man by pulling the trigger and killing somebody. Now you got to go to jail and you lose your life behind bars.
Mm-hmm.
The system, with one shot, the system killed two people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're right. So, moving on, let's talk about signs of a failing relationship. How you feel about it, DJ Reloaded?
I'm not going to say communication, right? Because we all know that communication is very important, right? And once that's stopped, that's usually a sign that the relationship is failing, right?
All right.
But when you think about a failing relationship and signs, you'll stop seeing, the couple spend time together.
Right.
The phone becomes more of a priority than your spouse or your loved one.
Right. And I got that as lack of intimacy. Without thinking about just sex, you just lack of being into each other. Like you're saying about speaking on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get more into being into each other.
I agree. Also, when you look at it, what I'm saying, just spending time together, talk. Just being around each other, making time, right? Cutting 3 to 4 hours out of your day when you get home from work and after the kids get settled, spending some time with each other, watching a movie on TV,
Netflix and chill for real.
For real. I don't think that a lot of people in relationships do that, especially when the relationship is failing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Next, it goes to taking a liking of what your partner is into. I think that is so big that a lot of people don't even pay attention to.
And that's lack of supporting your partner's dreams. Because being into what your partner is into, that's supporting that your spouse, whatever they're doing. And it's also a flip side to that I see too is you got to be mindful of what you're supporting too, because signs of a failing relationship, if you're supporting the cause of this person is never doing the right things, then that's signs of you don't need to be dealing with that person.
Straight. I totally agree. Also, another thing I think about when signs and a cause of a failed relationship sometimes is finance, right?
Mm-hmm.
When the money ain't right. You with somebody and y'all struggling and y'all don't want to work together to make things happen in a relationship. That cause a lot of times for a relationship to fail, right?
Keep together.
I mean, as a man, I think it's okay to ask your spouse, your woman, your partner for help, right? This is, I mean, we talk about that we did a video and we hint on that old mentality of men thinking that women's job is in the kitchen.
Right.
If you're a man and you're struggling to make ends meet, it's nothing wrong with asking your significant other for help in the house.
Right.
Because if she don't, y'all both gonna be on the streets anyway.
That's a fact.
So, you know, finances is definitely a concern and can cause a relationship to fail. And I don't think enough people pay attention to that or think about that.
They lose sight of that togetherness, though. When you do it together, it's always stronger and better. But when you got one, I feel like my money is my money and my money is my money over here, and you're not working together, especially supporting each other in those ways, you run into a lot of those financial problems.
Right. And then I mean, like I said again, I mean, definitely the signs of a failed relationship is when it gets physical. Ladies, if a man ever resort to putting his hands on you because of the frustration that's building up in a relationship, run. Because the first time he do it and he see that you're gonna stay there, the second time it's gonna be easier. So and you know, that was you know, like I said again, there are so many examples of so many, you know, great women I know that have been in an abusive relationship that has failed and didn't want to recognize that sign. So women never accept a man putting his hands on you, and you know what? That's vice versa.
That's what I was about to say, vice versa, because it goes both ways. You know,
fact. So
women could put hands and then don't expect to get hands put back, but you got to not do it to each other. It got a lot of these things, especially that me and you are saying tonight, are all gonna circle around things that both partners have to do to keep the relationship going strong.
Totally agree with that, man. You know, I think that you know a lot of people end up in a situation where they may have kids or they may not know what to do with themselves, and they stick around with an abusive, verbally and physically partner.
Right.
Compassion is another thing that you know what I'm saying is a sign, because once you lose that is done too, right? Like I said again, the little things, compliment. We're not even talking about from a sexual, you know, I'm not talking from sexual, right? Being compassionate. I'm just talking from just, you know, letting your woman know she's beautiful in the morning, saying, you know, letting her know that, you know, you care about her. Again, like you said again, being into what your woman is dreaming about. You know what I mean? As far as her goals, where she wants to see herself in the long term, right? So when you don't have that support that you that could cause trouble too, because when you're a woman trying to build, it's a good chance that you're not trying to build with her.
Right.
And it's gonna drive her crazy. And the work husband is gonna be right there saying, "Girl, what I tell you."
Vice versa, ladies, listen up, because it works both ways. Because it's the same thing when you got a ambitious male in your life and he's trying to do certain things and you're not supporting and thinking, you know, he don't know what he's talking about, or he got this pipe dream he's trying to sell. You know, you got to also support them too, because just like you said, his work wife gonna be there saying, you know what, you see me in the same thing you talking. So, you know,
and that work wife is that influence, right? The outside noise, right? That a lot of times tear down that home too, right? I mean, you got that work husband, work wife, and they're telling you exactly what you want to hear.
Exactly.
They stroking that ego. You already fed up with your significant other. So everything this person is saying is facts. They preaching to the choir, right?
Right.
And you know, a lot of times people, you know, they go down that rabbit hole, not knowing that, you know, especially for a man, right? A lot of time a man would tell a woman what she want to hear just to kick it with her.
Right.
I could say for me, I think it's a little bit different from a woman when she approach a man that way. because she sees the potential.
Right.
She don't see it all because I mean, there's a good chance that man got flaws too, right? But she see the potential, and just because she sees that, she desires that as well.
Right. Another key factor is being honest. You can't build a house on lies.
Right.
You have to be honest with each other. Right, wrong, whatever. Being honest and having that trust is what holds a relationship together. And that's how you last through thick and thin, is being able to trust that person.
Right.
You know, if I can't go to sleep around you, then why am I with you? You know, I'm gonna start staying away from you.
I mean, trust is definitely, once that goes out, the relationship is definitely toxic, and it's a definitely failed relationship, right? Also, I think a lot of times that you have to, and this is a little sidebar, understand the person you're dealing with, right? Like if I get with a woman who has a spiritual upbringing, meaning that she grew up in the church, she was in the church when I met her, but I'm not into that, and I want to take her from that atmosphere that can harm her or throw her off mentally, right? And spiritually, right? So I mean, you got to understand what your partner is into, especially if it's spiritually, because a lot of women believe that, hey, if the church if she ain't going to church, she ain't getting that word, she ain't right.
Right.
So you gotta support your significant other beliefs. And sometimes you gotta support them by going as well.
Right. That's a fact. So with that being said, when I look at different things of not spending quality time, I feel like a lot of couples stop dating each other, and when you date each other, you lose that same spark that you first had with each other. You got to get back to dating, and I think for men out there, need you to compliment your woman 3 times more than you ask her for sex. You do that, you'll make your woman feel way much better.
Do you now? I mean, question. I mean, again, on the topic, signs of a failed relationship. I mean, like, because a lot of times, I think you see it in time. Again, for me, the time that you spend with each other. When you start kicking it more with your homies, your woman start doing the same thing with her homegirls. That's definitely for me is a telltale sign when you start valuing outside relationships more than you value that woman inside your house or that man inside your house. Because at some point you're gonna, as a significant other, you're gonna want to kick it, but she already made plans with the homegirls every weekend on the road.
Right.
At some point you're gonna get fed up with that.
Mm-hmm.
Again, relationships to me is not hard. You should be able to see what's going on in your own home. Honesty, like you said, is a big key because a lot of people ain't honest enough to let it go.
Mm-mm.
They want to hold on because they're comfortable. They want to hold on because it's familiar.
That's a fact.
Sometimes the best thing you do is let it go and rebuild. And maybe you can recognize your wrongdoing and accepting responsibility on that failing relationship.
That's a fact. With that being said, we're gonna be signing out tonight. We need y'all to go like, subscribe. We got a new page we opening up, guys. We're gonna start recording on this page. We're gonna move over to the new page. Everybody that's sub to this, if you see this on YouTube, we need y'all to go over there. All you gotta do is search our block. It'll still pull up the same. And subscribe to that page. It'll be a whole new page. Hit that like button. Make sure your notification bell on. Make sure you subscribe. And go over to Facebook and get in that Facebook group where you can get a lot of motivation over there. We want to unify everybody. We want to uplift everybody. We want to help everybody in any way possible. We're here to support. And so go over there, like that, join that group, like the video, subscribe. We'll see y'all.
Yes, sir. DJ Reloaded checking out.